Hello everyone and welcome back to Blended Librarian at Goa. I am Prayangi Vishal Matonkar and in today's session we are going to talk about something that every researcher should understand, that is research metrics. You have probably heard terms like H-index, I-10 index, impact factor, CiteScore or citation count when talking about research visibility. But what do these numbers really mean? How are they calculated and where can you find them? To understand this, I have prepared this two-part series on understanding research metrics. In part 1, we are going to explore author level metrics like H-index and I-10 index, which measures individual researchers' impact. In part 2, we are going to talk about journal level metrics. By end of this video, you will not only understand how to interpret these metrics, but also how to use them responsibly to reflect your research impact. Let us first understand what are research metrics. Research metrics are quantitative indicators used to evaluate the impact, productivity, and influence of a researcher, journal, or institutions. In simple words, they measure how much attention your research is getting from academic community. There are three main types of metrics. Author level metrics like H-index, I-10 index used to evaluate individual researcher. Then there is article level metrics which focus on a single publication, that is citation of a publication, how many times it has been downloaded. And the third one is journal level metrics like impact factor or CiteScore, which is used to evaluate journal. These metrics are important in research evaluation for promotion, funding applications, and institutional ranking. But remember, metrics are indicators, not judgments. They don't tell you the full story of quality or innovation. Before going ahead with this video, let us first understand what is citation, because all the metrics or most of the metrics are developed on number of citation. A citation is a reference to another research work that you have used, mentioned, or relied upon in your own paper. Why do we need to cite? We need to cite to give credit to original authors, to support our arguments with evidence, to help readers trace the sources, and to maintain academic honesty and to avoid plagiarism. If your paper have been cited 2000 times in total, that means your citation is 2000. Most databases like Google Scholar, Scopus, and Web of Science display this number on their sites. However, citation count can vary depending on the database because each one indexes a different set of journals. For example, citations of Google Scholar will be different from the Scopus, as Scopus indexes journals which are published by Elsevier. Google Scholar includes thesis, conference papers, and preprints, so its counts are usually higher as compared to Scopus or Web of Science. So let us understand what are author metrics. Author metrics, also called as researcher level metrics, are quantitative indicators used to measure the research performance, productivity, and influence of an individual author or scholar. In simple terms, author metrics show how much impact a researcher's work has made in their field through publications and citations. Now let us understand different types of author level metrics, and we will begin with the most popular one, the H-index. The H-index, introduced by physicist E. Hirsch in 2005, the H-index attempts to balance quantity, that is number of papers, and quality, citation received. It is defined as a researcher has an H-index of H if H of his paper have at least H citations each. Difficult? We will understand this with an example. Say suppose you have published 10 papers. So now arrange them in the descending order. When you arrange your citations in the descending order, it will look like this. So your paper 1, which has 101 citation, paper 2 has 86 citation, paper 3 has 77 citation. So as per definition, a researcher has an H index of H if H of his paper have at least H citation each. H here is number of paper. So H index will be 1 if one paper has at least one citation. H index will be 2 if 2 papers are having at least 2 citations. H index will be 3 if 3 papers are having at least 3 citations. H index will be 4 if 4 papers have at least 4 citations. H index will be 5 if 5 papers have at least 5 citations. H index will be 6 if 6 papers have at least 6 citations. H index will be 7 if 7 papers have at least 7 citations. H index will be 8 if 8 papers have at least 8 citations. In this case, paper number 8 have only 4 citations. That means the H index is 7. So now we will replace H with 7. A researcher has an H index of 7 if 7 of his paper have at least 7 citations each. So in this case, 7 of his papers have 7 citations each. So the H index is 7. So what are the advantages and limitations of H index? In advantages, H index combines productivity and impact in a single number, and it is simple and widely used across the discipline. Limitations are early career scholars may have lower H index even if their work is good, and it does not account for highly cited single paper. Meaning if a researcher have one paper and it got 1 citation, then the H index will be 1. If researcher got 2 papers and his first paper got 1000 citations and his second paper has no citation, in that case also the H index will be 1. Third limitation is it varies by field. A good H index in humanities may be small in science. Next is I-10 index, introduced by Google Scholar. It is very simple. It counts how many of your publications have been cited at least 10 times. Example, if you have 10 publications and 6 of them have 10 or more citations, your I-10 index is 6. You can see this in this table. Again, you have to arrange your papers with citations in descending order. So here you can see your top 6 papers got 10 citation each. That means your I-10 index is 6. Advantages of I-10 is it is simple to understand and calculate, and it is useful for tracking consistency in medium impact papers. Limitation is it is not available outside Google Scholar and it doesn't distinguish between 10 citations or 1000 citations. Now let us look at slightly more advanced metric, the G index, proposed by Leo Ek in 2006. It gives more weight to highly cited papers. It is defined as a researcher has a G index of G if the top G article have together received at least G square citations. Meaning, if your top 9 papers have a combined total of at least 81 citations, that is 9 square, then your G index is 9. We will understand this using one example. So as per definition, a researcher has a G index of G if the top G article have together received at least G square citation. G here is number of documents. To calculate G index, we have to first arrange the paper in the descending order of citations. First column will be document number, second column will be citation number in the descending order, and third column will be G square. So it is just G square is document square. So 1 square, 2 square, 4, then 3 square is 9, 4. Accordingly, you have to write here. Then your fourth column will be citation. So your definition says the G index will be G if top G article have together received at least G square. So your G index is 1 if your top citations are at least 1 square. Your G index will be 2 if combined citations are at least 2 square. Your G index will be 3 if combined citations are at least 3 square. The researcher's G index will be 4 if the combined citations are at least 4 square. The G index will be 5 if combined citations are at least 5 square. The G index will be 6 if the combined citations are at least 6 square. Similarly, it will be 7 if combined citations are at least 7 square. It will be 8 if combined citations are at least 8 square. The G index will be 9 if combined citations are at least 9 square. G index will be 10 if combined citations are at least 10 square. In this case, the combined citations are not more than 10 square. That means the G index is 9. So now let us replace this G with 9. So researcher has G index of 9 if top 9 articles have together received at least 9 square citations. Is it correct? So top 9 articles have together received at least 9 square citations. So at least 81 citations. So here it is 96. That means the G index is 9. Now we have seen 3 types of author metrics: H index, I10 index and G index. Next question is where to find your research metrics. These are the places where you will find your research metrics. On the research metrics are available on the Google Scholar profile. If you have your Google Scholar profile, you can see your research metrics there. If you have your Scopus author ID, if you have researcher, Web of Science researcher ID, if you have a ResearchGate profile, or if you have Vidwan ID. We will see this now one by one. Let us start with Google Scholar, which is most commonly used platform for viewing author metrics. Once you open scholar.google.com, you can go to My Profile section if you already have an account. For the demonstration purpose, I will be using profile of our Goa College Librarians Association President Dr. Bala Mandrekar. Here you will see 3 main metrics displayed very clearly. First is citation. Sir is having total number of 89 citation. Then H index, that means sir's 5 papers have at least 5 citation each. Then H10 is 4, means sir's 4 papers are having 10 citations each, at least 10 citation each. If you scroll down, you can see each publications listed along with the citations. Google Scholar is very popular because it includes citation from thesis, books, conference papers and some non-indexed journal. That's why the citation counts are usually higher compared to Web of Science or Scopus. Now let us move to Scopus, which provides more standardized and highly trusted metrics. Each author is assigned a unique author ID. So each author is having unique Scopus ID. On the page you can see total number of documents, then total number of citation and H index. Scopus metrics are considered more reliable because Scopus include only peer-reviewed high-quality journal. That means the H index shown here is usually lower but more accurate. You can see H index of Dr. Bala Mandrekar in Scopus is 3, but in Google Scholar is 5. Now let us move to Web of Science, another highly trusted global indexing database. For the demonstration purpose, I will be using Dr. Nandakumar Kamat's profile. Here, every author has a researcher ID. On the author profile, you can see profile summary, which will include total documents, then publication indexed in Web of Science, preprint, dissertation, different categories, then Web of Science core collection matrix, what is the H index, then total of number of publication, then total number of citation, citation without self-citations, and so on. Web of Science metrics are considered very credible because they are based on the Web of Science core collection, which include only top-tier, globally curated journals. Next, let us look at Vidwan, an Indian research information management system developed by InflipNet. Vidwan does not calculate the H index directly, but it pulls citation data from Google Scholar and displays under the publication section. Finally, let us check ResearcherGate, a social networking site for researchers. Here the metrics are slightly different. On the profile page, you can see research interest score, then citations and H index. ResearchGate is useful for sharing full text papers, connecting with other researchers and tracking engagement. However, remember that research interest score is not an official academic metric and should not be used for evaluation. Use it only for networking and visibility. That's all with the types of author metrics. Now let us see limitations and responsible use of author metrics. While metrics are useful, they should never be the only way to judge research quality because different fields have different citation habits and some excellent work in local or emerging areas may not receive many citations. Also, overemphasis on numbers can encourage quantity over quality. That's why institutions are now moving towards responsible metrics, combining quantitative indicators with peer review and qualitative evaluation. Before we wrap up, let's quickly recap everything we covered in this session. We began by understanding what are research metrics and why they play such an important role in assessing scholarly impact. Then we discussed what is citation because every research metric is built on citation. We explored the major author level metrics including H index, I-10 index, G index. After that, we saw a quick live demo on how different platforms display your metrics. Each platform uses different data sets, which is why your H index and citation counts may vary. What truly matters is understanding how these numbers are generated and using them responsibly to increase your research visibility. Remember, metrics don't define the quality of your research, but they help you to understand its influence and reach. If you found this video useful, please like, share and subscribe to Blended Librarian at Goa. Stay tuned for part 2 where we will cover journal level metrics like impact factor, CiteScore, SJR, SNIP, etc. Thank you for watching. Dev Bare Karu.